Here at the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. And for a few moments longer, we're going to be reviewing Obama's admission of socialism, Marxism. In his Osawatomie, Kansas speech yesterday, we're going to be reviewing Obama admitting that in his view, this country has never worked. That this country has always been fraudulent. That this country, since its founding, has never worked. Our telephone number is 800-282-2882. We're going to get to your phone calls in this hour. Now, folks, these comments that he made yesterday are dangerous. You ever heard the term the Luddites? Well, you know who they were. The Luddites, for this application, the Luddites were the first people who thought like Obama thinks, at least the first on record. They started breaking into factories and busting up the looms, which were manufacturing fabric and cloth in England. These were the looms that basically launched the Industrial Revolution, which has led to unimagined wealth throughout the world. What Barack Obama said basically yesterday was he wants to go back and subsidize the horse and buggy industry. Imagine if Obama had been president during the time of the invention of the automobile. What would have happened? He would have shut it down. Because look what it did to the horse and buggy industry. Look at what the people have made buggy whips and buggies. How unfair of a country to do that to people. So yesterday, instead of the automobile ruining the country, it's the internet and ATMs and automated telephone systems. By the way, did we have computers and the internet back in December 2006, way back then, 5 years ago? Did we have the computer back then and the internet? We did, didn't we? And what was the unemployment rate back then? I picked 2006 because that's the year prior to the Democrats taking over Congress. The unemployment rate in 2006 was 4.6%, not 11 or 13 or 18. It was 4.6%. And we had computers, we had the internet. What we didn't have was the Democrats running Congress. And what we didn't have was Barack Obama in the Oval Office. By the way, England back in Industrial Revolution days made breaking up those looms a capital offense. The modern-day Luddites are the Occupy Wall Street crowd. Our president celebrates them, motivates them, encourages them to continue to do nothing but sponge off of everybody else. And I'll tell you something else he did yesterday that's intolerable as far as I'm concerned. He gave a bunch of young people the idea that if they vote for him, college isn't going to cost anything. That's what that little comment about college shouldn't cost $100,000 and anybody who wants to go ought to be able to go. They just told people if they vote for him, college is going to be free. Now, we know that's not going to happen, but he lied and told people that it was. He also lied about the Bush tax cuts, claimed the Bush tax cuts were simply for the rich, but, of course, the Bush tax cuts were across the board, everybody. And, in fact, Obama himself even admitted so. What do you mean by that, Mr. Limbaugh? When did President Obama ever say, back during the lame duck congressional session a year ago, last December, Obama refused to let the Bush tax cuts expire. Do you remember that, Mr. Newcastrati? He refused to let the Bush tax cuts expire because it would do damage to the economy, forcing people to do with less. And it wasn't just the rich. He kept talking about the middle class couldn't withstand a tax increase a year ago. He said the middle class would have a tax increase if he let the Bush tax cuts expire. Mr. Newcastrati, you idiot. Mr. Newcastrati is representative of the wusses that are the Democrat Party these days. Oh, but yesterday, the Bush tax cuts, they were just for the rich. I don't know about you. I just wanton lying. I have trouble with it. I've been fired once for calling a guy on it. One of those things I can't ignore. It was December 2010. They love these tax cuts so much they started calling these the Obama tax cuts. If you recall, during the lame duck session, The Democrats try to convince people that there were new tax cuts that were enacted in a lame duck session called the Obama tax cuts. Let's, at least for this segment, let's play some more sound bites. You're up to soundbite number 22. And we get to the really disgusting meat of this speech. First, he sets up another straw man. This is enemy. This is Wall Street. And the way he describes what happens in 2008 tells you how much he despises this country and capitalism.
In 2008, the house of cards collapsed. Huge bets and huge bonuses made with other people's money on the line. Regulators who were supposed to warn us about the dangers of all this, but looked the other way.
It's all a lie.
Or didn't have the authority to look at all. It was wrong. It combined the breathtaking greed of a few with irresponsibility all across the system. And it plunged our economy and the world into a crisis from which we're still fighting to recover. It claimed the jobs and the homes and the basic security of millions of people, innocent, hardworking Americans who had met their responsibilities, but were still left holding the bag.
If you are an Obama voter, a political independent or moderate or liberal Democrat, you're listening to this, I know what you've been told about me. I know what you believe, what you think is true about me. I'm here to tell you, bottom of my heart, that practically every word in this is a lie. And you need to understand why. Let's start here. Huge bets and huge bonuses made with other people's money. You mean like John Corzine of MF Global? Over, what is it, $680 million of other people's money is lost. Corzine stole it. Just as he stole people's money as governor of New Jersey. He stole it. He made wrong bets. He bet the wrong way on the future of Europe. He'll never be prosecuted for it because he has the right view on abortion. He has the right view on immigration. He's going to remain a Democrat Party star. But he's no different than Bernie Madoff. What caused the plunge in 2008 was not Wall Street and breathtaking greed of a few. What caused that? I'm just telling you from the bottom of my heart. I would love for you to believe it, but ultimately that's up to you. But what caused the mess we're in now is a bunch of Washington politicians, primarily Democrats, forcing banks to make loans for homes to people that would never, ever have the ability to pay it back. No way. It was called a subprime mortgage crisis. And it was done in the interest of fairness and advancing the American dream. And it's rooted in the Community Redevelopment Act. Jimmy Carter's creation, Bill Clinton really amplified it. He talks about regulators here. The regulators tried to shut the program down. It was people like Barney Frank, Democrat, Chris Dodd, Democrat, who shouted down the regulators in congressional hearings and sent them running out of the rooms with their tails between their legs. It was the Democrat Party. I know what you think of me, you liberal Democrats and you independent, with people that only tune in here now and then. You think you've got the truth of me based on what you hear in the media, but I'm just telling you, there's nothing in it for me to be wrong. We all want to get this fixed. See, we all want prosperity for everybody, including you. But everybody has to do their part if you can't get there believing a bunch of lies like this.